Greetings! Blackberry Mead time. It's that season where the bushes are full, ready for your taking. Help yourself to those blackberries just dangling down, ready to grab a handful. Pull them off the branches, enjoy them, bring them home, make yourself a pie and make yourself some blackberry mead. It's the season, it's the time, so let's go on and make some brilliant blackberry mead. For this blackberry mead recipe, we need 1.5 kilograms minus 1 blackberry of brilliant blackberries. Go out, pick your blackberries from the bush, ideally in the warm sun, enjoy it. If you don't have time to pick the blackberries all in one go, you can freeze them. And then when you do have enough, combined from all your warps, make your mead now, today. Grab yourself a big fermentation bucket and shove in your blackberries, your full 1.5 kilograms, into your bucket. Drop one, balls. And hopefully all your berries are now inside your big fermentation buckets. And you did so, you haven't been fingering something you haven't been. You want to start adding the honey to the berries. The honey will turn this into that brilliant port-style mead. It's heavy, it's succulent, it's rich, it's delicious. This is a winter's drink that will carry forwards and just become heavenly, divine, scrumptious, fantastic. So grab yourself your honey. And I find 1.4 to 1.5 kilograms of honey per gallon works amazingly well. So simply pour in your honey on top of your blackberries in that fermentation vessel. If you want to use less honey, the flavour will be slightly less robust, less full-bodied. It'll be a lighter mead-style drink, but still perfectly good. If you want to use a bit more, it may become a very much sweeter mead. It all depends on what your drinking preferences are, but I find 1.4 to 1.5 kilograms of honey is the ideal medium benchmark. After you've been making blackberry mead for a few seasons, you will get to know the benchmark of what your tastes are, where you'll want to pitch that mead at what quantity. Homebrew is all about experimentation and maximising your own personal tastes. There are no right or wrong ways of doing it. If you like a wine or a mead in one particular style, make it. There's no right or wrong way. Play around, have fun, experiment. Try new things, try dangerous things, try dodgy things. It's all very, very good. With your berries and honey in your fermentation buckets, you want to add the juice and rind of 1 lemon. So simply cut your lemon in half and squeeze in the juice and throw in the rind. The lemon is quite important for the fermentation process. It adds the acidity, the citric acid, that really helps the yeast munch through the honey. It creates a lovely acidic environment that the yeast really needs to do its job. And now, we want to be adding 2 litres of boiling water on top of the berries, on top of the honey, on top of the lemon, and give it all a really good stir. And then, on top of everything you've added already, we want to pour over 2.5 litres of cold water. This will help increase the volume of your mead up to the 1 gallon mark, which is our target, which is what we're making today. And also cool the whole temperature down, ready to add the yeast. And now we want to be adding about a teaspoon's worth of pectolase into the mix. The pectolase helps prevent a pectic starch from forming within the finished mead, because the blackberries do contain pectic enzyme, which will cause a haze in the finished mead if you don't add the pectolase now. There are so many variations of yeast out there. Take your pick, choose. You can use a general purpose yeast if you want, or something more specific designed for mead, or any of those out there. A red wine yeast, a berry wine yeast, a berry yeast, even an orange wine yeast would work really well with this. Take your pick. Sparkling wine, who knows? Whatever floats your boat, go with it. So sprinkle in your yeast, providing your main mead mix is down to room temperature, or about the temperature of mother's breast milk. So sprinkle in your yeast. My yeast does contain nutrients, as I said before, but it's always a good idea with a mead to add more nutrients 3, 5, 8 days down the track, just to help the yeast really do its job and not stress about not having enough nutrients. The more you feed it the nutrients, the better the yeast behaves. The better it behaves, the better the quality of the mead. So I will be coming back to this in a few days' time to add more yeast. But now you want to put on the lid. Set it aside in a warm place. Let it start fermenting. Let the yeast get to work with the honey, start fermenting, bubbling, becoming a most amazing union and farting out the alcohol that we want. Let that orgy commence. So warm place, set it aside. 5 days have passed and the delicious Blackberry Mead has been fermenting away. It's bubbling well, it's active, it's lively. There's a layer of berries floating on top of the surface of the liquid. It's all looking prime, juicy, squishy, squelchy, just the way you want it to be. What we need to do now is transfer the liquid into a clean, sanitized, sterilized demijohn and leave the pulp behind. We do not need or want a lot of the berries going into the demijohn. With Blackberry Mead or Blackberry wine, it's always a good idea to try to use a dark coloured demijohn. The dark glass demijohn helps prevent the sun from skunking the mead or the wine. You do not want the UV in the sunlight penetrating into the wine, which can cause discoloration and turning your lovely rich red ruby mead into a tawny brown colour. It just looks a bit wishy-washy, dirty dishwater colour if that happens. So what we need to do now is transfer that liquid into the demijohn. I would normally scoop out all those berry chunks using my sieve straight into the fermentation bucket, but mine has a very narrow neck and it won't fit in. So I'm going to be pouring it into a clean saucepan through the sieve. And now it's simply a case of pouring in your liquid, sediment-free liquid, particle-free liquid, into your clean demijohn. And now simply insert a clean airlock. And then we want to set this lovely Blackberry Mead aside in a warm, dark place and let it carry on fermenting. Let it ferment down to dry. You can then back sweeten or step feed it if you so fancy. But I find this recipe, once it gets down to dry, is perfect. Rack it off as and when it needs it. Store for about a year at least. You can drink it sooner if you want to, if you're desperate. But a year is probably my benchmark of when I would start to think about bottling, and then another 6 months before I come to sit down and enjoy it. So your patience and wait will really be rewarded with the most fantastic mead, port-style mead you've ever drunk. And if you want to learn how to make blackberry wine, check out this video up by here. And I'll see you all really soon. You have a good day now.